Recording in progress.
Right. Good morning, everyone. What is the last concept? Rest assured, right? Okay. Online students, as if the screen is visible. All the online students can respond in the chat window. All the online students can respond in the chat window. Okay, right. Let's complete on that. So the one we have been taking care about in working with API testing as part of this particular API testing. Right. So as part of this particular API testing, we need to be take care about in sending with the request and then need to be get the response here. So the main objective of this particular API testing, we need to be take care about that particular request and response has been working correctly or not. So for that, we need to be take care about in sending with the request and need to be get that particular response here. Further, the one we got taking with Postman, the one we have been taking with Postman, and after that, we need to be take care about in working with rest assured. So while working this particular rest assured, we need to be take care about in implementing with the programming activity. So as simple as while working with the rest assured, we have a possibility, we have an option in doing with programming. We can understand like Postman going with manual testing and this rest assured which you will be taking with automation testing in doing the respective programming. Further, previously, which we have been taking care about in writing with the program with the help of get method. What is the functionality of get method? Functionality of get method, read only. The functionality of the get method, we need to be considering that read only. We need to be send with the request. We need to be send with the request and need to be with response here. Okay. So further, we need to be take care about in writing that particular respective get method. Considering that particular get method, first we got take care about in importing that particular required packages. How we are doing with programming as part of the Selenium continued with the same thing here. So as simple as let's consider this particular Selenium programming. To work with Selenium, what we required? To work with Selenium, what we required? Jar files here. Based on jar files, what we can access? What we can access? Packages. Based on packages, class. Based on the class, method. Use of the method to perform an action. So the conclusion need to be take care about in performing the required actions here. So while working, the rest assured also we need to be take care about in followed with the same related to the rest assured, we need to be get take care about utilizing that particular respective method that you will be taking with get method. Further, we need to be get sending with the request and need to be get that particular response here. So that we have been done with programming. Similar to that, we need to be get take care about. Similar to that, we need to be get take care about working with post method. While working with the post method, while working with this particular post method, we need to be get take with the help of URL. While working with the post method, we need to be take with the help of the URL related to post method here. So it's not like just will be taking with URL. What exactly you need to be get provide that particular data. We need to be get take care about in providing that particular respective data. Further, as part of the programming, as part of the programming, to get insert with the data, to provide that information, we are taking with the help of JSON object. So this particular JSON object, you can understand that as a similar concept of hash map while working with Java programming. While working with the Java programming, while working with the Java programming, how we are inserting with the data with a different option. For example, we got data types and variables. Considering the use of data types and variables, what is the use of that? To represent with data. For the purpose of representing with the data, you will be taking with data types and variables. Similar to that, you will be taking with arrays concept to represent with more number of the data. At the same time, we got array list to get represent with the data or to retrieve with the data in the runtime here. So array list or taking with the list, hash map, data types and variables, all the things in with the respective of representing with the data only. According to the requirement, according to the requirement, need to be get understand. According to the requirement, need to be get understand in taking care about in implementing all that particular required activities here. Let's see that. Further, we have been taking care about in having with the statement that we will be taking with JSON object, whatever the data we want to be get import. I mean, we need to be get insert. You will be taking with the help of that particular respective data. So now we need to be get send with the request. Let's see that how exactly we can send that request. While sending the request with the help of this particular post method, we'll try to follow the syntax of BDD. Previously, we done with the cucumber. While working with the cucumber, we followed with the framework. What is the framework we followed? While working cucumber, what is the framework we mentioned? BDD. Meaning of BDD? What is it? Behavior driven development. The meaning of BDD, we need to be get mentioning that behavior driven development. While working that particular respective BDD framework, we got a concept of taking with future file. What is the use of the future file? Use of the future file to provide manual step. To provide manual steps. To get provide manual step, we are taking with future file. So while working that particular future file, we got followed with the syntax of utilizing with the keyword of taking with, given, and then taking with, when, and then taking with, then. While working with the future file, in the future file, we need to be get take care about. In the future file, we need to be get take care about in having with the statement of working that particular respective BDD, taking with the help of given keyword, when keyword, and then taking with then keyword. Similar to that, you will be getting followed with the same. Similar to that, you will be getting followed with the same. That you will be going with writing with the step in a similar way. Further, you will be taking with response, which you will be taking with response. We need to be get taking that particular response only. Further, we are using with the statement. We are using with the statement. What is it? Rest assured. So while working this rest assured or any API, while working with the post method, the functionality of post method to create new request. We need to be get create new requests here. To get create with the new request, to get create with the new request. The functionality, the functionality of functionality of this particular post method. The functionality of this particular post method, we need to be get create that particular new request. Further, we can directly write with the post method here. We can provide it, but before taking that particular post method, we need to be get insert with the data. To get insert with the data, if we look into that particular manual step, if we just look into that particular manual step, previously we done with the steps from the browser, selecting with the option of body and then content type and then providing the type and giving the details. When you're taking with the programming also, when you work with the programming also need to be get followed with the same thing. That you will be mentioning that taking with need to be get mentioning about considering that taking with content type here. So content type which you will be mentioning about, which need to be get provide, that you will be taking with content type which you will be taking with, that you will be mentioning about taking with to string, which you need to be get, which need to be get taking care about in having with, that you will be taking with JSON. So I mean, you need to be get provide, you need to be get provide writing with the statement that you will be taking with this particular, see the step, which you will be taking with content type, that you will be taking with the content type of JSON dot, which you will be taking with that particular body here. So which need to be get providing with the body, that you will be taking with that particular body, you are giving with data, which you will be taking with data, that you will be taking into this particular string. So now you're taking with, now you're taking with method name. Now you're taking with the method name, that you will be taking with post method. So as simple as when we are working with, when we are working with this particular rest assured. For example, if we look into this particular manual step, if we just look into this particular manual step while walking this particular rest assured, while walking with the rest assured or postman, whatever it can be, you're selecting the option. What is the option? Body. Under that, what is the option? Body content type. Under that, you're taking with raw input and then you given the data. When it's come to the automation also, this data, first we considering as a JSON object. We are taking into one particular object and then we are taking with that particular content type and then taking with the body and providing with the data. So this data need to be get insert to the server. That will be taking with post method. For that particular post method, you need to be get provide. For that particular post method, you need to be get provide that particular respective URL. You need to be get provide that particular respective URL related to post method, related to post method, you need to be get provide that particular respective URL. Okay. So that you will be taking with the statement. So now we need to be get taking care about in having with taking with rest assured dot given content type, that particular content type providing with the body and then sending with the request of taking with post. Okay. Then we need to be get import that particular required packages. As usual, we need to be get take care about in importing that particular required packages that will be taking with rest assured. Related to rest assured, you need to be get import all that particular required packages. Now we got a response. Once we got that particular response, we need to be get confirm either that response has been correct or not. So how we can confirm that response has been correct or not? Based on status code, we need to be get retry that particular respective status code that we will be taking with status code, taking with response, which you will be taking with response, response dot, which you will be taking with status code, response dot, which you will be taking with status code. So now for the confirmation, we need to be get print with the statement that we will be taking with status code, which we will be taking with printing with the statement that we will be taking with status code. Okay, done. And then need to be get, which we will be taking care about that particular status code is done. So once I got that particular respective status code, once I got that particular respective status code has been done, now you require that particular print, the confirmation. For that, you will be taking with, which you will be taking with this particular response into string format, which you will be taking with string format. At the same time, you have to retrieve the response time, which you will be taking with response time that you will be taking with get time here. So this is what we need to be get. This is what we need to be get take care about doing with the programming with the help of rest assured. Any programming it will be followed with the same. Just need to be very clear about what exactly your program requirement is related to. Based on based on that particular program requirement, based on that particular program requirement, you will take care about. Based on the program requirement, you have to take care about utilizing the method. For method, referring with the class. For class, referring with the package. For package, referring with that particular jar file. Any programming you have been doing followed with the same concept here. So that is what you will take care about in working with this particular respective post method. Let's see that. If I run this particular statement, if I just run this particular statement, we need to be get status code. What is the status code we have to get? As part of this post method, what is the status code you have to get? 200 is okay or successful, but our requirement is post method. For post method, functionality of post method, to create new request. To create new request, what is that status code? 201. The 201, considering that new request has been created. 201, considering that new request has been created. So which will be taking with that particular employee ID that has been created, which will be taking with response time. You are getting with the statement created at. You are getting the date and then taking with the time. That will be considering that mentioning about you are taking with created at. So this is what you will be taking with. This is what you will be taking with working with post method. One you will be taking with get method and then taking with post method. Similar to that, we got put method. Functionality of put method to update with the request. Functionality of put method, which will be taking with updating with the request, followed with same, followed with same, that will be taking with put method, followed with the same, that will be taking with put method. So one you will be taking with the one you will be taking with post method, the one you will be taking with post method, and similar to that, you need to be get take care about taking with put method. Let's see that. So the one you will be taking with considering that post. Okay. Similar to that, you will be taking with put method. That particular respective put method also followed with the same. Put method also followed with the same, which need to be get mentioning about having with writing, updating with the data. I'm just updating with the data. Now, you will be taking with method name. What is the method we got? What is the method we got? Post. But what is the method we are working? Put method. So in a place of this, we are taking with put method. While working with the put method, we need to be get provide. While working this particular put method, we need to be get provide that particular respective URL related to put method, related to put method, you need to be get provide that particular respective URL. So we need to be take care about in giving that particular respective URL. So now you can see here. So which need to be take care about, which need to be take care about in having that particular request need to be updating with the data. So that you are getting with the status code 200. If you look into the statement, what is the statement we got? Updated. So put method which you will be taking with update here. So the one you are taking with post method, the one you are taking with post method, and then taking with put method. And then similar to that, you will be taking with delete method. So functionality of delete method to delete with request. So functionality of that you will be taking with mentioning about delete, which need to be take care about deleting with the request. While deleting with the request, there is no concept of all these things which you will be taking with response, and then you will be taking with rest assured, and then you will be using with the command. I mean, you will be taking with the method name that you will be taking with delete. So rest assured dot delete. So for deleting, you need to be provide. For deleting, you need to be provide that particular required URL. To go with the delete, you need to be provide that particular respective URL. So if I'm taking with the delete, if I'm taking with the delete, you need to be provide that particular respective URL. So need to be provide, we need to be provide that particular respective URL. So which you will be taking with delete, you need to be provide that particular respective URL. So that you can see here, which you will be taking with functionality of delete method to delete with request. What should be the status code? Status code 400 is bad request 204. So if we take with considering that 204, so that is what considering that no content. So you are trying to print with the string format. That string format, it is giving in a blank. So you are trying to retrieve the data. There is no data. As there is no data, it is not able to print anything here. So that is what you will be taking with 204, that you will be mentioning that no content. That particular 204, which it will be mentioning that considering that no content. So this is what we need to be mentioning about taking with in consider, working with get method, and then taking with post method, and then taking with put method, and then considering the delete method. So this is how you need to be take care about. This is how you need to be taking care about in having with the statement. This is how you need to be take care about in implementing the required statements of API testing. So the conclusion, we got application layer need to be take care about in testing with application layer. For testing application layer, what we are doing? Functional testing, functionality testing. That functionality testing we are doing from UI. Meaning of UI? User interface here. And then we got business layer, or considering that logic layer. That particular business layer or logic layer need to be tested for doing that particular testing, what we are doing, which we will be taking with API testing here. So that we have been taking with as part of API testing. Meaning of API? Application Programming Interface. So that particular API mediator between two different applications here. Through programming, you will be taking with interface. Through programming, you will be taking with interface here. So that you will be taking with API. And then similar to this, we need to be get take care about in having with database that we will be taking with database layer. So that is what we need to be get consider three-tier architecture working with three-tier applications. As part of this particular three-tier architecture, as part of this particular three-tier architecture, we need to be go with browser and then server and then database. So first we done browser, your whole functionality testing. Then we done server, your whole API testing. Similar to that, need to be taking with database. So that we have to take care about database testing. So let's look into that. What exactly mean by that particular database testing and how exactly we need to be get perform the database testing activities. Let's look into that. So take with the new heading, mentioning that database testing using SQL. Online students also, online students also take with the new heading database testing using SQL. Take with the new heading, database testing using SQL. Okay. So let's understand that what exactly mean by that particular database testing and how exactly we can get implemented that particular respective database testing. Let's look into that. Let's take care about that particular respective database testing. Okay. So now further, just let's consider a basic information related to database testing. Further, take whether the heading is database testing and then make a note of this particular statement. So just make a note of this particular statement. Take with the new heading database testing using SQL. Under that, write with the statement what is database and make a note of that particular description. After that, just continue the same. Just continue the same. Mention that what is SQL and make a note of that statement. Mention that what is SQL and then make a note of that particular respective statement. Just make a note of up to that highlighted one. Just up to that particular highlighted one. Okay. Right. After that, in the next step, mention that installation steps. Next heading is installation steps. Write with the next heading. Write with the next heading, installation steps. Write with the next heading is installation steps. Under that, write the first step. Take with the main heading is installation steps. Under that, write the first step. Make a note of first step. Download and install. Download and install. Download and install. Download and install Oracle Database XC. Download and install Oracle Database XC. Download and install Oracle Database XC. Oracle Database XC. Within a brackets, Express Edition. Express Edition. Meaning of XC, Express Edition. Express Edition. Now, write the next step. Take the second step. Write the second step. Download, download and copy. Download and copy SQL developer. Download and copy. Download and copy SQL developer. Download and copy SQL developer within a brackets to write SQL query and to execute SQL query. To write SQL query and to execute SQL query. To write SQL query and to write SQL query. Okay. To write SQL query and to execute SQL query. Okay. After that, take with the new heading. Take with the new heading. Mention the data types. Mention with the new heading data types. Mention with the new heading data types. Right with the new heading is data types. Under that, this description is not required. Make a note of these data types. The description is not required. Just mention the data types and make a note of up to highlighted one. Just make a note of up to highlighted one. Online students also. Online students also make a note of that particular one. Just make a note of up to that highlighted one. Okay, right. So let's understand what exactly mean by this and how exactly we can take care about in implementing with these things here. So the one we got functionality testing to get take care about in testing with each and every particular functionality. And then we got considering the API testing to test that the request and response has been working correctly or not. And then now we have been taking care about this particular database testing. As part of database testing. In the UI, you have been taking care about and entering with data. Meaning of UI, user interface. So in the application, in the user interface, you are entering the data. Once you got enter with the data, whatever the data you got entered, whatever that particular data you got entered, this particular data need to save. This particular data need to save. This particular data need to save in database considering the tables here. So that particular database is nothing but tables only. Considering that you got an UI, user interface. From the user interface, you are entering with the data. When you enter with the data, when you got enter with the data, that particular data need to save. That particular data need to be get saved in the database. So whatever that particular data is there, that particular data need to be get saved in the database here. Now it is saving in the database that particular tables. So that is perfectly okay. But as part of testing, we require confirmation. Data is saved. How the data has been saved, we are not worried. Developer will look into that. How the data has been saved, we are not worried. Our requirement is we have to confirm. We have to take the confirmation data has been saved in proper table or not. So for the confirmation, is that the data we are saving only in one table? So as part of the application, is that the whole application data will save only in one table? No, will save in multiple tables. We may save in one table or multiple table according to that particular requirement. So we required confirmation either data has been saved or not. For that, for that, for doing that, from this particular table, we need to be get take care about. From the table, we need to be get take care about in retrieve the data. We need to be get take care about from the tables. From the tables, we have to take care about in retrieving with the data. We require the confirmation data has been saved correctly or not. For that, we required confirmation. That particular confirmation we are taking with the help of retrieving the data. To retrieve the data, we need to be get taking care about in utilizing with query statement. To retrieve the data, you need to be get take care about in utilizing that particular respective query statement. We have to retrieve the data. Further, we have to take care about the query statement. That particular queries or that particular query we are using taking with the help of SQL. So meaning of SQL, structured query language here. Previously we done Java. Java is considering the programming language. The Java is one programming language which has been helping in taking the logic. SQL is related to database query language which is helping to retrieve the data from the database. Similar to that, You got the HTML, JavaScript, considering that languages with the respective of UI here. So according to the program requirement, we have to take care about. According to the program requirement, we need to be get take care about in writing or utilizing the respective query language. So as part of our requirement, we have been taking care about working with SQL. We need to be get start working on this. To get started working on this, you have to take care about installation. To get start working on this, you have to take care about in having with installation. That particular installation, to get started working on this, you need to be get take care about in having with installation. That particular installation, which you will be taking with two steps. That particular installation you will be taking with two steps. That is what? First step. What is the first step? Download and install. Okay. So download and install, which you will be taking with Oracle Database XC. You need to be get take care about download and install Oracle Database XC. Meaning of that XC? Express Edition. The meaning of XC, considering that Express Edition. So the one you will be taking with, download and install. Download and install Oracle Database XC. Okay. Similar to that, you need to be get take care about another step, considering that download and copy. Not required to install, which you will be taking with download and copy. The download and copy, which you will be taking with SQL developer, which you will be taking with SQL developer. The one you are installing database and the one you will be taking with SQL developer. So before getting started working with the database, you need to make sure that completing all these particular respective installation. Further, what is the first step need to be done? Download and install Oracle Database XC. Further, a given that particular respective URL, not Oracle Database. I mean Oracle. Oracle will have Oracle XC. You have two different database. One is Oracle XC. If you try to install directly only Oracle, it will take more time. Because of that, I mentioned that this Oracle XC here. This is also it will take time. To install. Depends on your internet speed here. But if you want to try, you can try with the installation. If all the installation is successful, okay, no issues at all. But getting any issues with the installation, in case of getting any issues with the installation, don't waste with the time on that. Just you can take with the practice from online, because your target is not like installation, need to be get comfortable how you can write query statement, how to write different type of query statement. That is what your target, that is what your practice. If you got any issues with the installation, if you got any issues with the installation, just in online, you can type as SQL online practice. Just you can type as SQL online practice. You will get lot of editor. From online directly, you will get with the editor. You can write the query. You can execute it. Look into the output. Conclusion, you guys need to be get. You guys need to be get comfortable in taking care about writing with the query statement. In case of installation, you can go to this particular URL. You need to be downloaded. While downloading, it will be asking about Oracle account, same as Java. So it's the same Oracle account which you have been used for the Java, the same login credentials, you can use it. And then it will download the setup file. Once it is downloaded, you have to make sure that clicking on the option of setup, you got two things here. One is Oracle database, another one setup. You need to make sure that clicking on the option, you have to make sure that clicking on the option of setup here. Okay, so that you will click on that and then taking care about continued all the installation. While doing the installation, it is asking about password. While doing with the installation, it will ask you to create one password for the database. At the time of installation, it will be asking about to provide with the password. Whatever the password you are providing, you have to remember this password in utilizing the further step. Whatever the password you are providing here, you need to remember that particular password. In case you provided the password at the time of installation, by the completion of installation, you forgot the password. What you will do? Forgot password. But that is installation. There is no concept of forgot password or change password. As simple as you have to uninstall it, again install it here. So because of that, you have to take care about remembering the password. We can retrieve it. Other options are there. But rather than that, at the time of installation, make sure that what exactly the password you are providing, that you need to be get complete, that particular respective installation. So this is what you are saying, that the database has been installed successfully. You need to be get take care about, you have to take care about in completing that particular respective installation. Okay. So that you will complete, that particular respective installation. Once it is done, what is the next step? Taking with SQL developer. That is very straightforward. Just zip file, download it, save to your local system, and you have to take care about in extract it. So you need to be get take care about download it. It will download as a zip file. You have to take care about in doing with extract. You need to be just take care about, doing that particular respective extract here. So once you've done with the extract, you will be having the option of database. Then you need to be get continued. Taking care about in working with that particular respective database. So in my system, already I have been got install that particular Oracle and then taking with SQL, that will be taking with SQL developer. So which will be taking with SQL developer, the same as Eclipse. What is the use of Eclipse? Writing the queries and executing the, sorry, writing the programs and executing the program. Similar to that, taking with the SQL developer, the use of SQL developer, writing the queries and executing the queries here. When you are working with Java programming, we can write the programs in Eclipse or we can write the programs in Notepad here. Similar to that, when you work with the database, we can utilize the editor or we can write that particular queries in command prompt also. Rather than using this SQL developer, we can use the command prompt for writing with the queries and executing. But for the easy understanding, we are taking care about in working with this particular SQL developer. In my system, already, I got installed. So which have been installed this particular Oracle. Oracle already available. That is what the database for the whole application. Oracle is one database for the whole application. In that Oracle database, we are coming up with in creating different database as part of application. For example, I'm taking with file new or taking with new. See the understanding. In my system, Oracle install, that is a database. In that Oracle database, we are coming up with creating one particular database for the testing perspective. That will be taking with testing DB. How we are taking development URL, testing URL, production URL. Similar to that, database also, Oracle only, but that Oracle you will have dividing into development DB, testing DB, production DB. All these three things maintain the same database, tables. For the testing purpose, we'll take care about the testing activities here. In real time, you are not creating. Already developers will take care. Database developers will take care about all these things. Database developers will take care about all these things here. For the practice purpose, I'm just creating, providing the name. What is a database type? Oracle. Database type is Oracle. Taking with username. Username by default system. Username is by default system. So that particular username by default you will be taking with system, and then need to be get provide that particular respective password. After that, taking with connection is basic. Host name. What is the host name? Local host, because in the same system database available, because of that we are considering that local host, providing that port number, taking with the session ID to confirm that this particular username password correct or not, which I will be taking with test. If I just click on If I just click on that particular test, you will get the message. What is the message he got? What is the message he got? Which he will be taking with success. So by that, I'm confirming that my credentials has been correct. So now I'll just click on taking with the option. What is the option? Connect. So it will create that particular database. It will create that particular database and then taking with mentioning about this particular database. Okay. So which need to be get taking care about that particular respective database. So which need to be get take care about in having that particular database has been created. So now in that particular database, we have to come up with in performing all the query statement. In case of real time, already database tables will be created. But as part of the learning, we need to be get comfortable how we can do that particular activity. So further, let's understand about how exactly we can create table in the database. Further, make a note of the heading, mention that creating new table, and then make a note of this particular syntax. Not required example. Example is not required. Just make a note of the syntax. Write with the new heading. Write with the new heading. Create table. Write with the new heading. Create table. And make a note of the syntax. Just make a note of the syntax only. Just a syntax ఒక note చేసుకోండి. Not require the description. Not require the description. Just make a note of that particular syntax. Up to that highlighted one. Okay, right. So let's see that how exactly we can create with the table. As simple, when you work with the Selenium, taking the help of Selenium methods. While working the Java, we are taking with Java related methods. Similar to that, while working with the database, related to the database, you will be taking with the help of the database related methods. But rather than consider the methods, most of the time, will consider as the commands, database commands. We can consider methods also, but we need to be get mentioning the commands. In that, we are using one particular command. What is that command? Which will be taking with create. To get create in a table. To create in a table. To create in a table, you will be taking with the command that you will be taking with create. Now we can see here, which you will be taking with create. What we have to create? Table. You will be writing with table. You can go with capital letter. You can go with small letter. That doesn't make any problem. Not like case sensitive. Your Java, Selenium, case sensitive. Capital letter, small letter, different meaning. But this SQL query, there is no case sensitive. You can go with capital letters or you can go with small letters. That you will be taking with create table, need to provide table name. Need to provide table name. You can provide any of table name here. You can provide any of the table name. Then need to be get provide that particular column name. You need to be get provide that particular column name need to be get provided giving with employee ID and need to be get provide that particular respective integer. Need to be get provide that particular respective one taking with that particular integer. I mean data type. And then you will be taking with employee ID and then taking with mentioning about employee name. Giving the data type, giving the data type once considering that varchar. You can provide number, you can provide character. This particular one, you need to be get provide size also. You need to be get provide the size for that column. We need to be get provide size for that column. What is the column name we provided? Employee name. Now what we are doing is for this employee name, the maximum characters we are providing. That is what we will be taking with 30. So according to the requirement, database developers will take care about creating the respective table here. So we got mentioning that which we will be taking with that particular respective query statement. Okay. So the one you will be taking with employee ID and then taking with employee name. After that, you will be taking with employee role, which you will be taking with the employee role that you will be taking with mentioning about that particular respective size and then taking with employee status, which you will be taking with employee status, that you will be taking with mentioning about varchar. So that need to be get provide, that need to be get provide that particular respective status. So this is what you are taking care about. This is what you are taking care about creating with the table. We are using the command. What is the command we are using? Create. What we are creating? Table. What is the table ID? Employee 28 provided all the columns. Let's execute it. Just click on the run. You need to be able to see that. What is output we got? The table employee 28 created. If required, confirmation either created or not, either created or not, which you will be taking with select, you will be taking with select start from EMP 28. Let me execute only this one, only this query. Select it, run it. You will get all the columns. All the columns we got, all the columns we got. But is the data available? No. So in that particular all the columns, there is no data. Need to be get insert with the data. So how to insert with the data? That is what need to look into the commands. So that is what step by step need to be understand how we can write the query statement. We have to take care about, we have to take care about in writing all that particular respective query statement. So let's look into that, how exactly we can take care about inserting with the data, deleting the data, updating the data, retrieve the data from one table, retrieve the data from multiple table, writing some condition. So different type of query statement need to be get comfortable, not like equal to developer, but at least basic knowledge for the tester is required. That is what we look into that. So that will take continue the tomorrow's part. Will continue all these particular query statement, and after that we'll understand about how we can work with database with Selenium, how we can write the program with the respective of database with Selenium, and finally we'll be taking with performance testing. So we'll take care about all these query statement. So that will be continued. In a meanwhile, take care about all that particular respective practice. All these things definitely it will help you while attending with the interviews. That is the reason we are taking care about looking to all these things here. So please take care about try for the installation. If it is installing, okay. But if it is not installing, don't get waste with the time on that. Just you can utilize the online editors here. Okay. So take care about the practice of all the things here. Carry on. Thank you.
నా కొడుకైతే అర్థం కాలే పాపము ఇది అంటే నిజంగానే చాలా ఉందో తెలియదు వాళ్ళ తాత ఆకులు మనకు తీసుకుపోతాడో తెలియదు మళ్ళీ హాస్పిటల్ తీసుకెళ్తారు రాత్రి వస్తే ఒక కడుపు నొప్పి అన్నట్ట వాంతి లేదంట బెడ్లు లేదంట మళ్ళీ హాస్పిటల్ తీసుకుపోయాడు ఎంటెడ్ పోతారు కదా ఇంకా అంతా తీసుకోమని చెప్పి ఆడుతున్నాడు బాగా ఆడుకుంటున్నాడు బాగా మాట్లాడుతున్నాడు మామూలుగా ఒకసారి ఆరోగ్యంలో లేకుండా ఈ 2 రోజుల నుంచి అట్లా ఉంది కదా లేకపోతే ఏంటంటే తింటుంటారు ఊరికే కడుపు వస్తారు కడుపు వాళ్ళకి కొంచెం ఫుల్ అయినా కూడా కడుపు నుంచి ఎలాగో తెలియదు ఫుల్ అయితే ఎలాగో తెలియదు బాగా ఊరికే దురుకుతారు ఆ బొమ్మ చూసుకుని ఎంచుకుంటారో తెలియదు బాగా కడుపు మీద నింపుతారు కడుపు వస్తారు అంటారు దాని కాకపోతే ఈ నిన్నే కదా అమ్మ ఎక్కువైంది ఇంకొక 2 మాత్రం వచ్చినట్టు 5 బాగా మాట్లాడుతుంటే ఏదైనా పాప హాస్పిటల్ మాట్లాడబట్టే లేదు అది బాగా మాట్లాడుతున్నాడు బాగున్నాడు అది ఏమో ఒకసారి అంటే చలికాలంలో ఎవరు లపాగా అది చూసింటారు దృష్టి అయినట్లు అవుతుంది పనికి అట్లా అయింది వీళ్ళేమో వాళ్ళ బాగా మళ్ళా కళ్ళకి మొదలైనట్ట ఈ పొద్దు ఎక్కువ బళ్ళారి దోస్తుంది మా మామ ఆ పక్క గుడ్డే తెచ్చిపెట్టి మనం తీసుకెళ్ళి ఆయన చూపించుకునేది ఒకరికి తీసుకుంటారో ఏమో వాళ్ళ పిల్లలకి ఫస్ట్
Yes, guys. Online students, if you have any questions, you can carry on. All the online students, please take care about the practice. Okay.
4 పూటలు అయింది 2 మాత్రలు అయిపోయినాయి రాత్రి మళ్ళీ కడుపు వస్తుందన్నట్ట
Right. All right, guys. Please take care about the practice. Meet you tomorrow. Thank you.
నుంచి ఏమీ అనలేదంట ఊరికే రాత్రి కడుపు వస్తుందంటే అని చెప్పి అలా తీసుకొచ్చినాడు వాడేమో యాక్టివ్గా ఉన్నాడు బాగా ఫోన్లో మనం బాగా ఎదుగులాడుతున్నాడు టమాటా బాత్ చేసింది ఈరోజు.
టమాటా బాత్ కి